morning. Let's see. It is November 2nd, I believe. Yep, November 2nd, and it is 7:35. Uh, Kids and I were up, sleeping on the couch, bed. They were having nightmares. Partially my fault. All Halloween we watched, scary shows for kids, but, those are always a little scary for them. Never for me, but uh so yeah, I slept pretty good last night. I actually slept all night. This morning I'm having some swelling and some pain. I think I'd more like to call it discomfort because I've been in pain before. It's way worse than this, but before the nausea and the pain gets worse, making peppermint tea. It's an organic peppermint tea because I can't find my probiotic. It's this organic peppermint tea from Traditional Medicinals. I usually get from them anyway. And then I've been using, it's the Greenleaf Bare Necessities Canna Honey CBD. It's just a CBD within the honey. And it's supposed to really help. Like, the woman who sold it to me told me it was really good for PMS when you got cramps on that time of the month and you're swelling and you've got pain and discomfort. She said it helps a lot with that. And a lot of the time when my IBS flares up, it's mostly because of that time of the month. I don't even have to eat anything. It's just the hormones. I don't know. It makes me have a lot of pain. So I tried the CBD honey. The first time I tried it, I think I put a little too much because it made me a little sick. Not that it would make you sick. I'm just talking about the sweetness of the honey. It was really sweet. And when I'm not feeling good, like nauseous, sweet doesn't really help. So that was the problem with that. I put too much too soon. So I figured a tablespoon is too much. So I've been doing little teaspoons. And then if I need more, I'll just make a whole nother cup. But I found that it helped me yesterday with the swelling. I get this... Oh, it's an uncontrollable swelling because of the IBS. I get like... Oh, it's horrible. I get 10 times bigger than I usually am. Sometimes I can gain a whole 10 pounds over a few hours. And to me, that's horrible because I'm heavy enough the way it is. But, in all honesty, it's actually really horrible. It's funny when it's not happening, but it's not when it's, happening for reals. It's not fun. And there is no preparing for this, the pain is just, there's no prepared for that. I've had kids and shoot, my daughter, she was, it was all natural, not by choice, but it was all natural. And that was really painful, and IBS is worse, I think. You don't get a kid out of it anyway. Even if you were getting a kid out of it, I don't know if it would even be worth it because I lost my baby story because of the pain was just too much and I wasn't eating. I was starving myself for I think it was 3 months. I didn't eat for 3 months. It was horrible. He was gonna pass away because I couldn't take care of myself. So we made the decision to have him aborted. I wouldn't have been able to hold him anyways because the depot shots that I had messed up my uterus. They thinned it out to the point where I can't hold a baby for long. The only way to reverse that effect, I guess they would call it, is fertility medication, which totally beats the purpose of getting on that birth control. Because what's going to happen? We all know what happens when you get on fertility medication. So, I haven't fixed that because I don't want to do that. So, CBD honey, peppermint tea, and I used a tablespoon, but I only used a halfway, like, not even halfway. It's really sweet honey, so if you guys do get it, like, try little bits at a time, so you don't, like, waste it. I wasted it. The good part about this honey, if it's 75% filled after you've tried it and you don't like it, you can take it back to the dispensary. The our Greenleaf dispensary, and they will give you in-store credit. It is like $18 for this itty bitty little bear, but you know, when you're in as much pain as I am, anything's worth it. But yeah, if it doesn't work, they'll give you in-store credit, and you can get something in the store, same price. Maybe change it to flour. I don't know, whatever you're into. And then they can exchange it for that, as long as it's like not over 75% used. Because they want you to try it, see if you like it first, and then if you don't like it, bring it back, and they'll work with you. I think that was actually pretty cool, because a lot of the times when you get medications like that, it's scary. It's a new medication. You don't know how it's going to act. Normally, I would have been excited, but when I was diagnosed with IBS, I got scared. Trying anything new is very scary. I had tried some of the edibles, and I've had some pretty bad flare-ups from them. One I've noticed that I didn't have a flare-up with was the brownies. I was able to make cannabis brownies, and they didn't hurt me. I mean, I did feel uncomfortable afterwards, like the bloating and discomfort, but I feel that all the time anyway, so I'm not too sure if it was that or not. But it wasn't a big flare-up like the last things were. Like, I had chocolate, and I really shouldn't have, because I went to the emergency room, and I was crying. I was asking them to sedate me, put me to sleep. I don't want to be here anymore. They're like, oh no, what did you eat now? Because they know me. I'm there too much. And I'm like, chocolate. And they're like, oh, dairy. I'm like, no, it wasn't the dairy. It was the CBD. And the THC. It was the cannabis. Oh, gotta let the cat in. So yeah, there's that. I'm trying to get to the point where I don't need to go to the emergency room at all. Because that pain, when it gets too much, it's hard to do anything. Kids schooling is damn near impossible with me. Today I'm feeling good, so we're definitely doing it. And I always make them do a little extra just in case the next day I'm really, really sick. I never know when it's going to happen. Sometimes I wake up totally fine, and then within a few hours I'm screaming and crying, and it's scary. I feel so alone sometimes. I signed a support group for IBS. I'm just hoping that brings me some kind of peace in mind that I'm not alone. There's other people doing this, and if they can do it, so can I. It's hard to have that kind of mind when you're in so much pain for so long. And I mean, you don't even have to be in pain that long for you to start thinking crazy thoughts. This pain is so intense that you don't want to be around for it. Heating pad. I always put my heating pad on. My heating pad helps my stomach for some reason if it's on my lower back. The doctor told me that there's a nerve cluster right in the lower mid-back right here. There. And if you can put heat on that nerve cluster and heat it up, it'll heat up the nerves, and they'll stop sending signals that I'm in pain. Because I have a overactive nerve, and it tells my brain that my stomach is hurting when it's not. So literally I'll be in pain, and nothing will help me except for nerve pain medication, like gabapentin, and what is it, hydrocodone for emergencies, but I try not to need that. And then when that doesn't work, the doctors give me morphine. So I try really hard not to go into the emergency room. I try really hard not to need the hydrocodones at home. I take Bentyl, and I take, Heskyamine, for my stomach cramps and spasms and pains and stuff. I take all that. The gabapentin, I'm taking at the max dose. And, doing fiber. It's supposed to be doing the Metamucil, but it's so pricey. I just been buying the Benefiber. It seems like it's the same thing. It's just cheaper. You are just so heavy, cat. What else have I tried? I've tried many medications, so I can't even list how many. There's too many. The best things that I can do when I'm in pain is hold on and tell myself that this is a phase. This pain is a phase, and the pain will stop. I know it feels like it's going to be forever, but it will stop. I always have to tell myself that, because the last long flare-up I had was 3 months long. I was in so much pain, and the doctors didn't know what to do. They couldn't help me. I didn't even have gabapentin at the time. I was on Bentyl and Heskyamine. I think that was it. They tried getting me on some Lyrica, and it did help some of the pain, not all of it, but it made it to where I couldn't walk. I was too dizzy. So that didn't work out so well. A lot of the medications had really bad side effects. Dry mouth, that was so bad. My mouth was bleeding. It was like not livable stuff. Now, I get drowsy. I get really tired sometimes, and I can't do things I want to normally do. I can still drive, though. That's what's nice. I can drive. I can walk around. But I do have fainting spells. And, they gave it a name. Syncope fainting. I don't know. They said it's the same thing as saying fainting, so I guess you don't have to call it syncope. It'd be easier to just say I faint. But yeah, no, I've had that problem, and that's the only real thing I think of when I'm thinking of side effects with my gabapentin. I haven't had any real side effects with my Bentyl, except for a little bit of constipation, which is kind of my problem anyways, which that's not very cool. But if I drink more water, it helps. And stress. Shoot, I can't believe how bad stress can make your stomach hurt. But the more you think about whatever is stressing you out, the more nauseous you get. You get nauseous. You get the sharp cramping in your stomach, and then it turns from a sharp cramping to a dull, surging pain, and it kind of just wraps itself around you like a snake, and you can't get out of that grasp. It's like you feel trapped in your own body. You can't get away from the pain ever. There's no break. And then when your medications start to work, you start to get these little, oh, relief, I feel better. And then the pain comes right back, and you're like, fuck, holding on. And then a few minutes later, you'll get that, oh, stop for a minute. Oh. And then it comes right back. And it does that for a while. It'll do that for like an hour before my medications really start working good for me. But, I don't know why they call this IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. That's not what it sounds like. It's not an irritability. It is painful. I remember arguing with the doctors saying, no, this is not irritable. This is like Crohn's. My mom had Crohn's, but it's not quite the same, because I'm not having the bleeding like she did and all that. But shoot, it feels bad. So I was like, I thought it was Crohn's disease for a while there. I was terrified. Seeing what my mom went through, and then thinking that's going to happen to me. And now I've been diagnosed with IBS. I feel kind of grateful and at the same time terrified, because I've known nothing about it. So the more I learn, I guess, the more I'll post. I've changed up my diet, doing the FODMAP diet, fiber. I'm always eating fish and rice and oatmeal and stuff like that, yogurt. It's getting really miserable real quick, so hopefully I can get in to see a dietitian who might be able to help me figure it out easier, because this is going on 2 years I've been on this diet. I'm not supposed to be on this diet for that long. It's supposed to be a short-term diet to figure out what's irritating me. But since the coronavirus came, we can't figure out what's happening with the dietitians and the GI doctors. I'm getting phone call appointments, and it's not like your doctor can actually look at you over the phone. They just kind of ask you questions, and you tell them the best answer you think is correct, and hope for the best. It's kind of sucky. Same thing with the kids' schooling, though. I'm not getting very far with that. I have to keep going down to the school because our communication barrier is really bad. Our internet is on and off, so it's like some days we have it, sometimes we don't. And I don't know if that's because there's a bunch of kids trying to log into school. So my kids have been doing a lot of paperwork. And I've just been bringing in their work to school. So we'll see how that turns out. Yeah, but at least my pain is manageable today, for now. Knock on wood. Give it time. I'm hoping that the CBD will help with the swelling, because I definitely feel swelling and pain. But it's not horrible. I can do this. I will update and let everybody know how the tea does. It worked real good last night, so I'm hopeful it'll work again today. I hope. If you guys have any questions, just hit me up. Let me know. I'll answer anything I can. Bye, guys.